Okay, this is a video on my way of how to combine integers. So this is kind of going to go for sections 2.2 and 2.3, adding and subtracting integers. And what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking about just combining integers. So there's no such thing anymore as adding and subtracting. So let's take a couple example problems. Let's say I have negative 5 plus 3. We'll just start real easy. And then let's also say I have negative 7 minus 10. Here's how I would like you to combine integers. Again, now you might be thinking, oh, okay, this is telling me to add, so I need to add them together. This is telling me to subtract, I need to subtract them. That's not necessarily the case. So the first step, and you can find this all in the class notes if you download those as well in sections 2.2 and 2.3. First step is I want you to circle the numbers. Now remember, the sign always goes in the front of the number, and we want to have everything circled. So this is what they would look like. So I'd have a negative 5 and a positive 3, and I'd have a negative 7 and a negative 10. Now remember, we're not thinking of this anymore as a subtract sign and this anymore as an adding sign. We're just thinking about it as the sign of a positive or negative number. Okay, next thing is I'm going to draw my positives and negatives. Here's what I mean by that. This 5, it's negative. How do I know that? Because it says it. So I'm going to draw 5 negatives. 2, 3, 4, 5. And this 3 is positive. Again, how do I know that? Because it says positive right here. So real nice and neat next to them, I'm going to draw those positives. Now, if you owe me $1 and you pay me back the next day, you owe me no money. So a negative and a positive end up canceling out. They end up making 0. We actually call that a 0 pair. So those 3 cancel, and what am I left with? I'm left with 2, 1, 2, and they're both negative, so my answer is going to be a negative 2. Let's go over to this problem. Again, I have 7 of negatives, so I'm going to draw those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have 10 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, you borrow $1 from me, and the next day you come to school and you say, oh gosh, I forgot to borrow that, or I forgot to get that $1 to pay you back, and I need to borrow another $1. That does not cancel. So you borrowed $1, you borrowed another $1, now you owe me $2. So negatives aren't going to cancel. We're just going to see how many we have all together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I have 17, and they are all negative, so my answer is going to be negative 17. Let's look at one that's a little bit more complicated. Let's say I have a negative 5 minus a negative 4. Okay. So again, I'm going to circle my numbers, but I can't just circle this negative 4, because remember, everything has to be circled when you do that. So I'm going to actually circle everything in front of this 4. Now, I want you to think back to this negative 4. There's actually a 1 there. And this is a negative 1 times a negative 4. And if you remember from the notes, a negative times a negative, he's happy, he's a positive. So I have a negative 1 times a negative 4 actually equals a positive 4. So we can think about those two negatives that are in the same circle as becoming a positive. So I'm going to draw that positive, because again, this negative 1 times negative 4 makes us a positive 4. So now I'm going to rewrite this. I have a negative 5 and a positive 4, do my circles. Again, I have 5 and they are negative, so I'm going to draw those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 4 is positive, so I'm going to draw 4 positives. I have a negative and a positive. You owe me $1 and pay me back. That cancels. And I'm left with 1 negative. So negative 1 would be my answer there.